Why, hello there. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, it's a glorious Tuesday. Hopefully, you didn't get stuck in traffic for 40 minutes. That's what happened to this guy right here. But neither here nor there. But I have an interesting story that keeps on coming up. Now, there's this big debate whether or not student loans should be canceled. I don't think they should be canceled. I think this is a prime time for you to pay them off, so you can pay off the interest, not the interest, the principal, without any new interest being accrued. This is the perfect storm for you. I think it's been almost 2 years, and people haven't been able to pay them off. I think according to the recent data out there, most people only owe 20K of between 20 and 30K of student loans, which is a car payment, which is a car note. I'm paying off. Well, I paid off a car in full with those 20K, but that's regardless. But I'm still paying off property where I'm going to probably build a house out there and just stay away from the major city. But even then, if I was able to get no interest for 2 years, better believe I'd be paying that crap off. But anyways, to the story from the New York Times. I'm kind of iffy on this. Student loans are set to be paused again, pushing payments to September. That's right. I mean, September. It's just a gift that keeps on giving. Then pay off your debt. President Biden will allow millions of federal student loans borrowers to freeze their payments until August 31st, according to administrative official brief on the matter. The latest extension of the pandemic relief measure began more than 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So I was right about that. The delay would be the sixth since the pause began early in the pandemic and would become less than a month before payments were scheduled to restart and affect tens of millions of borrowers, including 35 million who have not been making payments that would otherwise have been due. Those debt have not been accruing interest, and several million borrowers have default, have received a break from a paycheck garnishes and other collection efforts. This is the perfect. You had 2 years to pay off a good portion of that debt. The extension is expected to be announced this week, according to the administration official who has not authorized to speak about the plans before the announcement. The 4 month delay means the pause will become an issue again before the midterm elections and will remain a rally cry for student debt activists who have called for Mr. Biden, would that be President Biden, to cancel at least some of the debt outright. Both Trump and Biden has canceled interest. Activists to call cancel at least some debt outright. Americans owe 1.6 trillion on federal student loans, more than they owe on car loans, credit cards, and any other consumer debt other than mortgages. Like I said, I have to look into the research again. I thought most of them were like 40, between 20K and 40K, and very few of them are over 100K. Now, there are some out there that are over 100K who just went to school year after year after year without getting any not school, but jobs or incomes to help pay that off. Winsome Cole, the NAACP National Director of the Youth College, says that student loans debt was a racial and economic justice issue that has stained the soul of America. Of course, everything's racist. And you know what? The fact that they made it into a race issue kind of makes me not want to read the rest of this. Let's see here. I'm just going to skip a good portion of it. Yeah, we'll start with the Education Department, the primary lender for most people who borrow for college, outsource its collection outside the vendors, but the two largest contractor, Navient and the Pennsylvania Higher Educational Assistance Agency, better known as FedLoan, recently quit after growing dissatisfaction of the growing workload that they viewed as inadequate compensation as they forced the education department to transfer millions of the borrower's account to other loan services and process that has not yet been complete. Services also been struggling with the piecemeal nature of the payment moratorium, and that is often last minute decisions about lengthening it. The freeze began in March 2020 under the former President Donald J. Trump as part of the Congress CARES Act, and twice extended it by the Trump administration. One of Biden's first acts as president was another extension of the payment freeze in August 2021. He pushed the payments out until early 2022, in what the Educational Secretary Miguel Garnano called a final extension. But in December, just a few weeks before the bills were due to go out, Biden imposed another 3-month extension, citing the pandemic's impact on borrowers' finances. Anticipating that the payments would resume May 1st, services hired additional workers to begin preparing for the surge of work, but some have expressed frustration as it become increasingly clear they would be once again delayed in their their collection efforts, which is an interesting point of view. Is you got these lenders that need to hire people in order to send out these bills to people, which is man hours. If they're expecting to resume and they ramp up to get in time just for the president to kick the can down the road. Now this company has an issue. Do they fire all these people? Do they try to find work within the company? And what happens when they finally are able to resume payments? Are people going to actually get these jobs? I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting way of looking at it. I mean, you want jobs out there, but if your job is relied on payment replan or payment plans or repayment or starting up their payments, but yet you keep on kicking this can down the road, it kind of it's a drain on the company's resources. Anyways, I don't think they should be canceled. I think they should be resumed sooner rather than later. It's time to rip that band-aid off. People need to get back to work. And like I said, this is a prime time to pay off that loan, pay off the principal while you have no interest. Although I am kind of interested, does the interest get backdated, or does the interest start once the payment starts? Because I'd be actually interested, or more in favor, I should say, more in favor that the interest starts when the payment resumes and that is backdated. Anyways, I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of my student loan videos. I'm not in favor of just canceling it, because I think that's unfair for the people that didn't go to college or the responsible ones that actually pay off their loans. And you've had 2 years to make payments, whether it's $200 a month, $100 a month, $50 a month, or $5 a month, to whittle away at the principal. You should have done at least that effort to help reduce it. Like I said, if the president wants to do a moratorium on property loans or mortgages, I'll be more than happy to get a stamp of approval and saying that that's not going to receive interest, but that's not going to happen. So I'm going to continue paying off my loan, and hopefully sooner than later. Anyways, with that being said, leave a comment down below what your thoughts are of the president just kicking this can down the road, because it's going to blow up. I predict that once the president, any president, is finally going to do an end, whether it's in 6 months, 3 months, 2 years from now, there's going to be a big blowback, because none of the current administration wants to rip that band-aid off. That being said, leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. Smash the like and subscribe button on any platforms or just the platform you're currently watching. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.